The Biden administration's top Middle East advisor is in Egypt today for negotiations on a hostage release deal and a temporary ceasefire. Officials are racing the clock after Israel set a Ramadan deadline, which is March 10th, to invade Rafah. That's where 1.5 million Palestinians are currently seeking refuge. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams is in Tel Aviv for us. Holly, how are the negotiations going?
Hey there, Lana. It's a pretty complicated story. Just yesterday, the U.S. vetoed a draft resolution at the United Nations Security Council calling for an immediate ceasefire. The U.S. said that that would have jeopardized sensitive negotiations, and the U.S. says that any ceasefire should provide for the release of the remaining hostages. And remember, there are thought to be around 130 remaining hostages still being held in the Gaza Strip. The U.S. is apparently working on its own rival draft resolution that does just that, and the U.S. is pushing hard for a ceasefire. It's involved in mediating negotiations along with Qatar and Egypt. However, for some time, the negotiations have appeared to be stuck, or at least moving at a pretty glacial speed. Hamas has said that it won't agree to any deal unless Israel withdraws its forces from the Gaza Strip. On the other hand, a member of Israel's war cabinet recently said that it will go ahead with a ground offensive in Rafah in the far south of the Gaza Strip, where around 1.5 million Palestinians are understood to be sheltering. And despite mounting international criticism, it said it would go ahead unless the hostages are released by the time of Ramadan. That's the Muslim holy month, which begins in early March. We've also heard repeatedly from Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu calling Hamas's demands, quote, delusional. So that certainly sounds like a gulf that's almost impossible to bridge. However, just tonight we've heard from another member of Israel's war cabinet, Benny Gantz, who said that there are attempts to promote a new hostage deal and the potential of moving forward. So that certainly sounds like a rare note of optimism. Let's see what happens.
All right. Well, I want to ask you something else, Holly. This report that the World Food Program announced that it's going to be pausing deliveries into northern Gaza. What's behind that decision, and what is the current status of the humanitarian situation?
So the World Food Program said that it was going to pause its aid deliveries because its convoys in northern Gaza faced, quote, chaos and violence due to the collapse of civil order. That's specifically in northern Gaza. Remember, the Gaza Strip's population is just over 2 million, or it was just over 2 million before the war, and around 1.5 million people are thought to be sheltering in Rafah in the far south. But some people are still in the north, and in many ways they're cut off. The United Nations has warned of a precipitous slide into hunger and disease, and it says that 1 out of 6 children under the age of 2 in northern Gaza are acutely malnourished. We've also seen reports, which we can't independently confirm, of aid trucks or aid convoys being ambushed by desperate civilians.
All right, Holly Williams, thank you.